So this weekend you may have noticed that we went through a time change. This was me yesterday when I looked outside and saw that it was completely black by like 5:30. I was a little upset. So basically what has happened is daylight savings time has ended. Whose idea was this to change time and remind us that time is meaningless like every couple months? There is an answer for that, and no, daylight savings time does not exist to help the farmers. I'm Natalie Gerhart, and today we are going to learn about the history, benefits, and disadvantages of daylight savings time. So for the history of it is, first of all, it adds an hour to standard time, which is our current situation as of last Sunday. There has been an hour taken away from our morning, but added to our evenings, and now it has been taken away from us. But according to dateandtime.com, which I accessed on November 1st of this year, areas of Canada were the first to do this in 1908. And then Germany was the first full country to use daylight savings time in 1916 to save energy during World War I. After Germany started doing it, many other European countries followed suit. It was then dropped after the war because everybody hated it, and then picked up again for World War II. As for its history in the United States, it just changed a lot. Woodrow Wilson placed it for 7 months during World War I, and then after it was dropped in law, a lot of cities still used it. Even though most of the country didn't use it, a bunch of cities still did, and it created a lot of confusion for everybody. But then, during World War II, President Roosevelt put it back into place for a full year, and it was called wartime. And then after the wars, there was no regulation on time, so every state and every city, basically, they all had different times. It was really confusing for the travel industries and businesses, and just everybody in general was super confused because it was different time everywhere. This was only until the U.S. Uniform Time Act, which made it so daylight savings started at the last Sunday of April and ended on the last Sunday of October. It also made it so that states could opt in and out of daylight savings, which is why some states like Hawaii and Arizona don't use it. And then it all changed again in 2007 because of a law that was passed in 2005. And so now it starts in March and ends in November. So yay, extra month of daylight. So for the benefits of daylight saving time, it was originally used to save energy from artificial lighting. But now there are actually mixed results from studies saying that whether or not it actually does save energy. In a New York Times article published on March 11th of this year, quote, extra daylight means extra time to spend money, end quote, which is basically saying that the extra daylight helps our economy. People have extra time to go shopping and just go out in general, which also helps the oil company because people have to drive to go to those places, and people feel like that they can drive farther when they have extra daylight in the evenings. Families also feel like that they benefit from this because they feel like they have more time to spend with their families. Because usually during standard time when they get off of work or school, it's dark outside. But with daylight savings, it's not dark. And they have more time to go out during their free time. As for disadvantages, according to an article published on March 11th of this year in Rosedale's Organic Life, Indiana just started using it in 2006. And what they discovered was that they actually used $8.6 million more worth of energy than they did before they started using daylight savings time. It also doesn't help the farmers. Farmers hate it because it, quote, disrupts their schedules and connections to the natural world, end quote. It also gives them one less hour of morning time, which is when they do most of their work. So it's a really common myth that daylight savings helps the farmers, but they actually hate it more than anybody. Daylight saving time is actually also connected to a bunch of health issues. According to the Huffington Post, in an article posted on March 14th of this year, titled, should we cancel daylight savings? They say that it messes with our circadian rhythms, which is our 24-hour sleep-wake cycles, and messing with this can put us at a greater risk for stroke and heart attack, but no need to worry because the risk is very low. And it also can mess with people's insomnia a lot. And it also does not save energy anymore due to new advances in technology. It actually costs more energy than it uses. So, in conclusion, the history of daylight savings time is very inconsistent. It basically just helps the economy and makes families feel like they have more time to spend together. But it puts farmers at a disadvantage and actually costs more energy than it used to benefit, and it doesn't have the same benefits that it did during wartime. Now that daylight savings has ended, I hope you all enjoyed your extra hour of daylight while you had it.
Okay, I love it.